It's not is I don't understand. Well, if there's a good thing, it's frustrating.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Are UFOs real? Are aliens from outer space real? Of course, they are not real. Now, are demons real? Yes. Are they using aliens as a cover for demons? Of course they are. Does our government have the capability to make UFOs and flying saucers? Of course they do, and of course they have. The things that people have seen in the sky, these phenomenons, are created by our government. Not just our government, governments around the world. It's amazing to me, absolutely amazing, that there's so many people out there that doubt the existence of God, that doubt the existence of Jesus Christ, despite proof that Jesus Christ existed, despite proof that God exists. Now, they've hidden most of this stuff, these locations, right, like Sodom and Gomorrah, a lot of the stuff that you'll find out, you know, in Egypt and around there, they've hidden it, they've barricaded it in, so that it seems like, hey, that stuff's just a fairy tale. Otherwise, if they had that available for people to see, like some of the things that have been found by Ron Wyatt, who found, you know, what most believed to be the actual Noah's Ark, and many other things out there. If they actually had that available for people to see, then more people would believe in the existence of God and the existence of Jesus. Yet, all of these people believe that aliens are real, despite never seeing one, despite maybe seeing UFOs in the sky, despite maybe being on acid trips and thinking they're abducted by aliens. But demons are real and aliens aren't. But they don't understand that this concept, this notion, comes from all of the predictive programming and manipulation that's been going on since the advent of the television. Starting with stupid little corny alien movies, to Star Trek, to Star Wars, to War of the Worlds, to Independence Day, to every 6 months or so, a new stupid movie, Signs, you name it, comes out, which shows aliens where they don't realize that they're being conditioned, so that when this happens, and when I say this happens, I'll talk about Project Bluebeam and these other things that they have planned to usher in a new world order. This is all part of the deception going on, but they don't realize they believe in something that isn't there, that they haven't seen. They're like, oh yeah, aliens are real. Oh, we believe aliens exist. There's life on Mars. Is there? Why don't you go back to the moon? Why don't you go to Mars? Oh, we're working on it. In a couple years, what are you going to do? Roll out some footage of you guys walking around in the desert in the middle of Death Valley, and you're going to tell everybody you're walking on Mars, and the idiots will go, they're on Mars, I can't believe it. Can you believe they're on Mars? They're in Death Valley. They're filming it because it's a production. This is all part of the deceit. Now, Ronald Reagan himself came out and said the only way that we would have peace, world peace, is if there was an outside force that threatened our existence, and everybody would unite as one, and we'd have this new world order, an alien-like force, right? He said it right at the UN, right to the UN, because it makes sense, right? All these little, frictions between people. Think about how that would happen, right? You have fights with, girlfriends, boyfriends, people at work you don't like, but all of a sudden, if that was threatened by some outside force, you guys would unite, because you say, hey, we're human. We got to put our differences aside and fight this weird force or this weird thing. So this alien deception, which all goes back to Project Bluebeam, which is just another CIA operation they're working on, but they also, the video clip I showed you at the beginning here, is because an article came out in the New York Times, and everybody's going crazy about it, that the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program, give me a break. In the $600 billion annual Defense Department budgets, $22 million spent on the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program was almost impossible to find, which was how the Pentagon wanted it. For years, the program investigated reports of unidentified flying objects, according to Defense Department officials, interviews with program participants, and records obtained by the New York Times. It was run by a military intelligence official on the 5th floor of the Pentagon's C-ring, deep within the building's maze, right? So he was hidden in there. Nobody knew what he was really, his job was. They kept it secret. Oh, please. This is the deception. Oh, yeah, they didn't know what was going on. Oh, this guy had all the secret information. They didn't want to tell anyone because They have to figure out a way to protect us from this alien threat that doesn't exist. Oh, millions and trillions of light years away, there's a bunch of little green freaks running around on Mars and on Uranus. There's green freaks running around on people's Uranus, but they're not called aliens. I think they're called genital warts. Now they want you to think, oh man, this is very likely to happen. We had politicians coming out. We had Obama coming out. You'll have Trump talk. Oh, the big secret's going to get out. Oh, that they've had stuff in Area 51. Oh, yeah, they won't talk about what really happened in Area 51 with Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, the summoning of demons, the opening of the veil and the lifting and bringing over of entities from the other side, which, of course, as always, was involved in black magic rituals that involved children and sexual acts with children. Nobody will talk about that, but instead we're supposed to believe these little freak shows that you could punt 500 miles away if one came near you are supposed to be up there, and they're waiting to come down to take over us because what tells us that? Oh, the movies do. So they're conditioning us with that because, remember, the masses out there sit through this stuff. They obsess over it. Look at the people obsessed over Star Wars. They don't realize it's about magic. They're like, oh, the universe is infinite. Oh, all this stuff can go on. Oh, we can make friends with the aliens. But oh, at first we can all unite in a new world order. Oh, then we'll be friends with the aliens. You mean the demons, right? It's just all part of the plan that they've had since NASA's Blue Beam project. The first steps in it are the breakdown of the arc of all archaeological knowledge, the setup with artificially created earthquakes and all this stuff that they're going to use, and they're going to say it's all biblical, right? Stuff that they create with HARP and with CERN. And then they're going to, of course, project things into the sky using the technology that they have. Oh, they're going to project a show in the sky of UFOs and all this stuff. And then, of course, they're going to have, a fake Messiah is going to appear in the sky. It's Jesus or it's Buddha or whoever the heck, other religions from around the world worship. And it's all going to be part of this great deception of a one world, all these gods coming together, all these people coming together. Let's all unite as one. And when stories like this comes out, I mean, it's laughable. This shadow program, parts of it remain classified, began in 2007. Initially, it was largely funded at the request of the Nevada Democrat who was the Senate Majority Leader at the time and who has long had an interest in space phenomena. Most of the money went to an aerospace research company run by a billionaire entrepreneur and longtime friend of Mr. Reed's, Robert Bigelow, who is currently working with NASA, which shows you all the lack of credibility needed here, to produce expandable craft for humans to use in space. And look, they come out with this stuff. They show this video, this ridiculous video. Oh, it just happened to come out 10 years later. Somebody just released it. Oh, every year this happens. Every year there's something. Oh, there's something that they're hiding about aliens and UFOs. And then Obama's supposed to release all this info. Everyone eats it up. They eat it up. There's people in this space who are truthers or whatever you want to call it, which I don't consider myself one because I'm not associated with anybody. There's so many people who consider themselves truthers who have the most ridiculous stuff and the most ridiculous content I've ever seen in my life and talk about the most ridiculous things, but that's another story for another day. Who talk about this stuff like it's real, like part of the huge conspiracy is that there's little green men running around on these other planets. And that they've come down here and, all this stuff. This is all part of, this is a concoction that they came up with when they sat down and they said, how are we going to convince people to unite as one? An outside threat, right? First you have this civil threat, right? Or domestic threat, right? You have Russia, North Korea, America. Oh, division, men and women divided, black and white divided. And it's going to take everyone to come together with this huge little green alien men coming down. Like, they can't create that deception. They don't have the technology to do that. Of course they do. They've had it for quite a long period of time. So they roll stuff like this out. And people go gaga over it. Can you believe it? Oh, I knew it was true. It's almost like they want to believe that this stuff is true because they grew up watching these shows and these cartoons about aliens. I'm so glad I didn't. So that programming didn't work on me. It's embarrassing, right? I mean, the Star Wars programming, it just doesn't seem to die off because they're pushing black magic and all of this stuff, witchcraft. What do you think the Force is and all this stuff, right? Darth Vader lifts people up with his hand and magic and all. It's all part of it. It all ties in. This space deception is just another part of getting Project Bluebeam put out there to the masses. It's going to come out at some point. Doesn't mean they're not going to tweak it. Maybe they'll alter what they do. You know, because there are people out there who are aware that they've talked about doing this light show in the sky and showing the Messiah in the sky and stuff like that. And that might be too far-fetched for people to believe because they've created so many stupid atheists out there who believe in nothing, who believe that they grew out of the bottom of a tree or whatever they believe, that they might have to scrap that idea. But this whole deception is going to continue to roll on. Oh, there's stuff in Area 51. I knew it. There's stuff in Area 51. They want you to believe that stuff. They don't want you talking about what the government's up to. They don't want you talking about the corruption inside the government. They don't want you talking about child trafficking rings. These things which are real serious topics. They don't want you talking about it. They want conspiracy theorists linked to UFOs, little green men, and Sasquatches. And no offense, as always, to the people who think the Sasquatch exists. Hey, I never studied it. It's none of my business. Just never seen one, all right? People take offense to it. I get those negative comments on the videos I do about aliens not being real and the Sasquatch and stuff, where people are like, don't talk about it if you don't know. Well, I don't know. But I know I haven't seen one, so seeing is believing in a sense. So again, this is this stupid video that comes out. The Pentagon is coming forward saying, you know, they've had this information on UFOs, they've had this footage on UFOs, and now they're going to conveniently leak it slowly to the public like they do every year, this little taste of fiction. Remember, aliens aren't real. Demons are real. Demonic possession, that stuff is real. Very real. UFOs, sure they exist, but they're not from outer space. A little green man didn't create a flying saucer up in Mars. Your government created it. The CIA created it. You don't think they have the money to do that? You kidding me? They print money. You don't think they can create something that doesn't look like an airplane that flies around? Why do you think all the planes still look the same? They don't want you to even think that they could create something that looks different than an airplane that can fly out there, because then people would get suspicious that they might have created UFOs and all this other stuff. So they want you to always think it's got to have the long wings and the long nose. It's all got to look the same. Meanwhile, they've been playing around with this technology since World War II. These people are frauds. All they want is a new world order to come forward, so don't buy into their crap. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.